Hey y'all, today we're going to talk about what we did here. If you have a tankless water heater that's giving you issues due to water flow, you're going to want to watch this video based on this product. All right, everybody. This video I've been wanting to do it for a long time. I know we've been doing some technical upgrade videos and things like that, but if you'll bear with me, we're eventually going to get back to travel stuff. One of the main reasons we keep doing technical videos is because everything that we upgrade adds some type of convenience or time-saving feature to the rig. And this one, I think, is going to help a lot of y'all because this technical upgrade is probably geared more towards those with tankless water heaters, but it'll also help you guys with suburban water heaters as well. I found this company called Eley. I'm not sure how you say it. This video is going to be how I use this thing here to solve our water heater problem, and how this thing here allowed me to make our own custom length hoses. So come around here and I'll show you. All right, normally in here, what you would see is this guy running up through the bottom, and it would come out right here. And we had disconnects on here, which were these guys right here. The problem is when you disconnect from that, you end up with water all down in here and in here. So all of this in here is just fiberboard or OSB, whatever you want to call it. What happens is when I disconnect from the black tank, water shoots out of here, it gets back here, it weakens this board, and before you know it, it's falling apart. So what I've decided that I'm going to do, let's see if we can get a little example of this. All right, it's not a lot, but it's enough, and over time, see how it splashes back up in there? I don't want that. See how that water got all over the place? Now it's dripping all down through there. I don't like that. So with this company, they gave me the tools to make our own custom length hoses. So I bought a cheap hose, and I cut these to length to extend underneath the rig here. So what does this do for us? Well, I've got a black tank and a fresh tank, and I'm going to put a quick connect on both of them. Then I'm going to put this guy on there, and we will control what gets turned on, and I'll only have one hose that goes to the pedestal. Now for me, it's a big deal because I don't like having to carry multiple hoses. As you can see, even if they're considered kinkless, they get all jammed up. So it was time for us to replace our 0Gs. I've got them in the truck. We're going to throw these away because they're old, and I'm going to put the other quick connects on them, and we're going to see how this works. That's got an old one. That doesn't have one at all. That's got a new one. So that can all come out.
Look at all that sand.
Boatload of sand. All right, while I'm doing this, you might be asking yourself, why would you run through all the trouble just to put these quick connects on there? I thought this was going to be about a water heater. Well, it is, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. If you look at the throughput of those, the existing tankless water heaters have to have a certain PSI and water flow. The connections that we were using before, that's how small that opening is. and then it would go into, that's that connection. With the new ones, you can see that thing is massive. So give me 1 second, we're gonna hook the hoses up. This is the new 0G. I don't know how frequently y'all replace your hoses. Me, we've been using those set of hoses for about 3 years. I don't know that there's anything dirty in them. We're gonna cut one open and we're gonna see though, because I've heard that they can get mold in them. So as promised, we're gonna cut the end of this off. Man, that's a lot more. Whew, I pinched my fat roll.
Please don't be black. Please don't be moldy.
I know, I almost don't even want to look.
Oh. Whew.
I say that's pretty clean.
It's got a little bit of like mildew going on, but it's not as bad as I was thinking. It's honestly something I hadn't ever thought about till you mentioned it yesterday. Yeah, it's not terrible.
No, that's not bad. Let's check the blue one. The scissors broke.
It's a heavy duty hose there.
Yeah, you're not gonna just accidentally poke a hole in that.
Yeah.
It's pretty clean.
Not too bad.
No.
Not as bad as I was imagining.
No. I bought 2 new hoses, one 25 foot and one 50 foot. We're not going to open up the 50 foot until we absolutely need it. But this is the new one. And this connection is really easy. So on one end, you have a male, one side you have a female. We're just going to put this guy on here. The key to these, they all have a rubber washer in them. That guy right there. You don't ever want to dig into that. All you're trying to do is create a firm connection to it so it doesn't leak. You don't want to torque that down and crush it. And this one has an O-ring on it, and it's the same get up. And I typically just put ours on hand tight. Then this end, all I have to do is reach under there, and if you'll notice, it's just a little click. That's all there is to it. Then this end will go right there. This end goes right there. And we hook that up to water. Kick that on. As you can see, it's filling up. We've got good water going through. And we're gonna go back to city water. We've been running on our fresh tank because it got cold and I had to disconnect all this stuff. Problem is it got cold right when I had to disconnect everything. So we had no way of getting it all back together. We had to live off our fresh tank. All right, we're gonna put in a small video clip. This was the first hose that I made. And if you look at it, you'll see I didn't do it correctly. This is done correctly to where there's no gap in there. This tool has very, very tight tolerances. If you're going to use that tool, just know the first one, maybe two, aren't going to be right. You're going to mess them up. But the theory is the same. They send you you buy a fitting and it comes with a collar. And you put that collar in a jig along with the fitting, and then you use anyways, you'll see it on the video. I made those two to extend outside the rig. And here's the reason why. This is the whole. So one, we needed more water flow to the tankless water heater. The secondary reason is this right here. I'm going to turn this off. All right. We've still got a little bit of water pressure in that line. You want to go to power tank fill. All right, so I've pulled the pressure off of that line, and let's go back to city water. Now, ordinarily, this connection would be inside the rig, and what would happen when you disconnect this, you get that. And all that water would end up here in the rig. Now it's not there. All I have to do, and I can make this water connection with one hand. You hear the click, it's connected. I turn the water back on. So none of that water ends up in the rig. Then by replacing these quick connects, we get all the water flow and PSI that we need to keep the water heater running. Anyway, if you're interested in this, we'll put a link to the actual web address. Just know that it's Eley Garden Hose Corporation. They sell this tool, they sell the fittings. More importantly, they sell the high flow quick connects, and they're not that expensive. So with that, for those of y'all with tankless water heater issues, this may be a solution for you. We're just now testing it, and we'll do an update on it, see how it goes.